This week on Ace on the House.
So Kay tells me, paint the flat midnight blue. It's nighttime, midnight blue. And I go, all right, paint it midnight blue. And the guys give me midnight blue, and we start painting it. And the whole time, Lou is going, don't you want to call George and verify this color with him? And I'm like, it's midnight blue. He said midnight blue. We're painting it. Don't you want to verify? I was 316 pounds with 2% body fat. Okay. Oh, yes. You got to talk to Lou. You got to talk to Lou.
Check out an all-new episode of Ace on the House this Saturday, or visit aceonthehouse.com, only on the Ace Broadcasting Network. You're listening to the Ace Broadcasting Network.
Hey everyone, before the show starts, just want to give a quick shout out to one of our awesome sponsors. Are you guys looking to spice things up in the bedroom? I think you are. And that's me saying I think you need to be thinking about that. Here's an offer you won't be able to resist. Go to adamandeve.com, and for a limited time only, you'll get 50% off just about any item. And that's not all. When you select your one item at 50% off, you'll also receive 3 free adult DVDs, plus a free extra gift so sensual I can't even tell you what it is. Do you have any idea how sensual that is? You don't. You think you do, but you don't. And to top it all off, we'll even throw in free shipping on your entire order. So check out adamandeve.com today for this special offer. Get 50% off one item when you type BEST, B-E-S-T, for the offer code upon checkout. When you do, you'll get 3 free DVDs, a free extra gift, and free shipping. Just use the offer code BEST at adamandeve.com.
Alison Rosen. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison's your new best friend.
Hey, hi, hello everyone, it's me, Alison Rosen. Welcome to Alison Rosen is your new best friend. My guest today is Dana Gould. You may know him on Twitter as @DanaJGould. He sauntered into the studio a few moments ago, and a lot of stuff happened, and I was like trying to put a cork in the bottle that is Dana, saying, wait till we start doing the show, Dana, because at that point, then you can tell everyone about your sensible Volvo.
I'd like to go back to, you had me at, let's put a cork in the bottle that is Dana.
Yeah.
That sounded vaguely sexual, and I'm deeply offended and maybe a little curious. No, I drive a 92 240, the last year of the shoebox, as they say. Mm-hmm. If you look closely, my car looks like my shoes. I also have
shiny, scuffed,
clunky,
and rubbery.
Clunky old.
Are those Fluvogs?
These are Fluvogs. These are the only shoes I wear because I have no arch on my feet, and my feet are like duck pads.
Tell me more about your flat feet, Dana Gould.
My feet are, if I took my shoe off and my sock, that would just be the start of things.
Then can I put the cork in your bottle?
Please. My feet are, there's no arch whatsoever. My feet are utterly, utterly flat. I don't know what that means.
This is a follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
Have they always been that way?
Yes. And you know what they say, flat feet. Huh?
Fluvogs?
Yeah.
Flat feet. Fluvogs.
Flat
that's
hands,
what they
flat
say.
feet.
Yeah. You might notice that I'm sinking lower and lower as we talk, and it's not only because I'm becoming comfortable and turned on by the bottle that is you, but it's also because my microphone is sinking. So I'm going to lift this up for a moment, and it occurs to me that I haven't given you a proper introduction because that's a professional thing to do, and I didn't do that. But for people who don't know who you are, and I feel like everyone knows who you are because you're kind of
I would think your listeners would be familiar with me from that other program you're on.
Oh please, there's I have at least 3 listeners who don't listen to that other program.
Interesting.
Not
I
really.
Bet you have
I have
more.
none. I have no listeners that don't listen to that other program.
Is that true? That's for now though.
No, that's not true, actually. I have some fans who knew of me before I was on the Adam Carolla show, because this show, Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend, while a podcast is sort of based on a web show that I used to do, also called Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend.
Oh, okay.
Not with the weird accent that just crept into my way of I don't know what the hell that was. Yeah, this is going to get a hernia while I fix this
Can
microphone.
I help you do that at all?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
All right.
I feel like I should be the kind of lady that needs help more often.
Yeah, but you're
Instead, I'm
self-sufficient.
I'm
That's why
fine.
guys like you.
Is that how it works? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's me. I'm not fancy.
You don't think that you would be more inclined to help out some woman who's like 4'10" and like, help me?
Oh, I would, but I'm not attracted to that.
Okay.
This is coming out wrong.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, also another gem from before we started was, what did you say about how if I can handle my own bowel movements?
Yeah, well,
Then I'm golden?
Yeah, you were asking me if I minded if you did my intro live instead of
right.
doing it in later. And I said, I don't care. And you said, oh, you're so easygoing. And I said, I have 3 daughters under the age of 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can do to stress me out. If you're responsible for your own bowel movements, you are already in my golden zone.
At what age do they become responsible for
Well,
their own bowel
the upper
movements?
2 are. The 2-year-old still has issues. I gotta go with her. Or someone else if I'm not around. It's not like she's stranded when I'm gone.
Right.
You better not eat. You better not shit while I'm gone.
How old are all your kids?
2, 7, and 9.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like having apes. But they're great. My kids are great. They're the only what's the word I'm looking for?
Unmasculine forces in your house?
No, they're the only absolutely positive thing I've ever been involved in. No, there's just nothing bad about it. It's a great. It's a plus. I always feel, it's great. And people who have kids, they know, and people who don't, they don't know what they're missing. And if they experience it, they will. I don't judge.
No, there's a group of people who do know what they're missing. I think it's people like me whose biological clock is ticking.
Tick, tick,
It's not.
tick.
It's. I think it would probably
But
have more of like an iPhone
your clock is
ringtone.
your clock is
sound.
at like 2. You have hours and hours and hours on your biological clock.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. I think. Well, I don't know.
Unless you're
It's-
actually passing fried eggs during your
they're just
during
egg
your monthly
beaters.
time.
Actually,
Yeah.
they're fake. Yeah.
Literally like rubber fried eggs you get at Oz on Ventura.
You know, when I first heard of that store, for people who don't know, Oz is like a giant novelty store with a whole buttload of Hello Kitty stuff in it.
Yeah, if you're from back east, it's like what Spencer Gifts
Yes,
used to be.
Spencer's Forgets what I was going to say. Except, does it have the 18 and over section in the back?
I don't know if the stores still. Yeah,
Have those, like-
that was all bongs, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, and titty shot glasses and stuff like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
All that good stuff.
All that
and
great
probably
stuff.
some kind of pens that when you turn them upside down, the can ladies' clothes came off.
Yes, yeah, all that stuff. All
Right.
that stuff. I'll tell you a great story about
okay.
stuff like that.
Please.
But I can't tell you on the air. Because it's
Are you
about
serious?
a famous. Yes,
Dana.
I know.
God damn it.
It's really good.
Why?
It's really good.
Why are you trying to take down my podcast because you also have a
All right,
podcast and you feel competition? It wouldn't be the first time.
I'll tell you. I won't tell you the name of the person, but if somebody I know, their dad, had a watch, and it said where the day and date was on your watch by 3 o'clock. Little window that said, "Time to fuck."
And the son of the person who has this watch
This is my friend.
famous?
This is my friend. I can't tell you. That's what I can't tell you. I'll tell you after.
Okay. But just so we know who we're not knowing about, the watch owner was famous or the watch
No,
owner's
no,
son
the
is
watch
famous?
owner's- that latter.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's and it's cool and it's classy.
Ted Obama, my friend. Ted Obama.
Theodore Obama. Anyway, Oz. When I first heard of it, I thought it was OZ.
Sure.
But it's AAHS, like
Oz. Yeah, I thought Oz was the
which
store.
is what you say when you leave.
I'm out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm tired of blacklight posters and shelves of bongs.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for any of that stuff anymore.
It seems like you don't have time for anything really. Because
I don't have
you
time
seem
for
kind
a
of
goddamn thing.
Weary and
I am.
tired.
All the
maybe a
time.
little bitter, like you wish you could buy new shoes and a new car.
And
And like
know,
you
it's
just
funny.
hope that your kids will wipe themselves soon.
I would love to buy a new car.
Yeah.
I literally don't have time. I have to leave here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to go home. I have to have dinner with the Tiny Goulds. Then I have
Tiny Gould.
Then I have a show tonight.
What kind of show?
A stand-up show with the lovely and talented Eddie Pepitone.
Oh.
Then I have to tomorrow. I'm working on trying to finish up my podcast, writing a bunch of junk,
The
writing
Dana
a pilot
Gould
and stuff.
Hour?
Yes,
Wherever did you get the name?
Mrs. Gould thought of that. Call it the Dana Gould Hour. I liked it. It's sort of retro. It's never come in at exactly an hour.
Will it ever?
I don't know.
Something to shoot for.
Because I've never done not to just talk about me the whole time, but
yeah, that'd be so weird in an interview about you.
but my show, like it's very heavily post-produced. Like I will take the interview and I literally edit it extensively, and then I break it up into like 18 mini segments, and then I scramble them and I put music intros and outros, and then intersperse other bits in between them that also have music. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's good to me if I don't have a million of them. If I do, if I do it every other week, which is the way it is now. But they're interesting. They sound different. It's entertaining.
Yeah, I like it. It's I mean, a lot of Gary is adjusting my microphone right now,
That's
what that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing: is I feel like it's gonna fall a second after he leaves, but that's okay.
I don't think so. That's in there pretty good.
I don't know. More microphone. Okay, I'm just gonna come forward. This is scintillating stuff. See, Dana, if you didn't edit your podcast, this is the kind of stuff that people could hear.
People would hear the raw.
I know, it's
the raw footage.
Verite, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like your podcast a lot though, because
thank you.
there are
Thank
a
you for
ton
listening to it.
You're welcome for listening. There's a ton of podcasts that are like this one, incredible,
awesome.
but also just long form interviews.
Dare we say super awesome?
I would dare to say that. Mm-hmm. But there's not that many that are heavily produced like yours.
No, there's not. And the other thing that I thought was good was my show is not heavily guest reliant. Like I have my friends, I have Eddie Pepitone and I have Ken Daly, and I usually get somebody to come in. But if I had to, I could do a show with no one but myself. And that all comes down to just my absolute hatred of bothering people.
Yes.
Which you just have to do. Hi, I want to come do it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though.
The next 4 emails I'll send today are like, want to come by next month at some point, please? I'm sorry.
Do you use a certain font to convey that tone?
Weedle. Weedle. I'm in 12-point Weedle.
Weedle Dingbats.
There's your band. I'm in the Weedle Dingbats.
It also sounds like something that you'd get that would eat holes in your sheets. Like, oh no, we have an infestation of Weedle Dingbats.
Oh no, we're gonna have to move. Do you watch Infestation? Do you watch the show Infestation?
There is a show called Infestation.
Oh my God, it's my 9-year-old daughter's favorite show, and it's just a reality show about people whose house becomes full of like bed bugs or bats or snakes, or and it's as creepy as you would think, and
and she loves it.
My oldest is sort of like Wednesday Addams. She loves to listen to old radio shows like literally The Shadow. Like I go by her room at night, I had to put them on her iPod, and literally I go by her room at night, it is I, the Shadow. She's just snoring in bed. She put it on.
Right.
It's hilarious. It's really great and hilarious.
Oh, yeah, and I think, weren't you saying that your middle daughter, though, is more like a small sorority girl?
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Yes, she's very girly.
Now, do they get along?
Yeah, I mean, they constantly...
Girly and Wednesday?
They constantly fight, and they try to sleep in the same bed every night if we let them. It's just like, it's just that,
That's cute.
But yeah, she's my daughters are Chinese, and my middle daughter puts her hair in curlers every night because she wants curly hair. It's really, really hilarious.
That's so cute.
Yeah, they're good kids.
So
nothing more boring to other people than to hear someone talk about their kids, I think.
Maybe.
Well, you have a lot of female listeners, though, so they're a little more open to that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I make them listen to talk of hormones and periods and that kind of crap. So this is probably
my kids had nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go into that?
My kids are all lawyers and forms. Hormones, lawyers, forms.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, so how come you adopted 3 children?
I don't have a cock. No.
Wow.
Which is why I'm so relaxed.
Revealing, I know.
Which is why I'm so relaxed talking to you. I'm not trying to get anything off
That's
you.
right.
I don't
This
have a cock.
explains the Volvo.
Yeah, exactly. I drive.
I'm sorry.
No,
I have a Honda. I shouldn't be casting aspersions on
Judging
your car.
by Alison's car, she has a very small penis.
Yeah. Don't let the Calvin pissing on Hobbes sticker
dissuade
you from thinking that.
I want to get that over the sticker of the people in my family.
Oh, yeah, you should. That's good.
The people that like you always tell who's in your family by those. They have the stick figures
Right,
or whatever.
those little
And I
die-cut
often wonder
figures.
if somebody dies, do you have to go out there with a razor blade and like cut them out of the family lineup and peel it off the back of your car?
If you're lazy, could you just like fill it in with black pen?
Or have you ever seen the stickers where it's like in memoriam of? It's like somebody died and they dedicate their shitty car to them.
Yeah.
Please don't don't do
No.
that. If I die, I don't want to have your Camry in honor of me.
Would you? Okay, I've seen in memoriam neck tattoos. How would you feel
I
about
saw
that?
a dude yesterday who had Jesus, like the picture of him like with his eyes up, like not. I think it's called Jesus Agonistes, where he's just like in agony.
Right.
And he had it right on his neck under his ear, which means that if you're with a woman and she's going to kiss that part of your neck, which is quite pleasant, she's making out with Jesus
Right.
while on the cross, because that's what that's from.
See, and that's just selfish of him because he's never going to see it there. He's never going
He's
to
never
stare
gonna
at
see
the
it
agony
there.
of Jesus.
No, but a woman has to make out with
Right.
Jesus on the cross, and I don't think that's what he was thinking at that time.
I doubt it.
Oh, I'd love a piece right now. Oh boy, what would take the sting out of this is just a slice of a hot glass of. I don't think that would.
But
be
more religious-y. More Jesus-y.
more religious-y. Methinks I'd like some. Ooh. Blessed art thou. I don't know how we would say it.
I don't either. But have you ever had dogs? Do you have dogs?
I have 4 dogs.
You have 4 dogs
I have
and 3 tiny Goulds?
3 kids, 4 dogs, 2 guinea pigs, and a fish. And a wife. I'm full up.
You have 2 guinea pigs as
We
well?
have 2 guinea Cookie and Carmela. Are you talking about Cookie and Carmela?
I am speaking of them. I want to say of they, but that would be incorrect. It
Yeah.
bothers
This
me.
was this was a great.
Or is it
This was a
correct?
great. This is all you need to know about my home life.
Your menagerie.
I'm a Virgo.
Say no more.
I like boxes and labels, and everything's level and straight and organized. And my wife is a hoarder. She just shops
That's
and
not a sign.
saves and shops and saves. And one day I just couldn't get anything in the closet. I had to, we have like one of those walk-in closet rooms. And it's like, I can't do it anymore. Just and like I just and then I had to get something under the sink, and I open the sink, just everything just falls out, and there's like
Yeah.
coat hangers and dustpans,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't do this. This is I can't. And my wife's like, all right, okay, you're right, which is a rare occasion in and of itself.
Right.
Now celebrated annually, the day she said I was right. We take the day off, and she said, I'm going to take Lulu, and I'm going to go our oldest. Lulu and I, I'm going to take Lulu and Alice. We're going to go out to the box store, and we're going to go to the store at all, whatever the place was. And we're going to get a bunch of box, and then we'll come home today and we'll have a big cleanup day. It'll be a big cleanup day, and you stay here with the baby. So, that's great. So they go. I take the baby to the park. Blah, blah, we come home, and I come home, and she greets me at the door and says, "Instead of going to the box store, we bought guinea pigs." So now,
I was thinking, there's no way
Yeah.
that this is really going to happen.
Yeah,
It happened too easily.
Instead of organizing
You have
the
guinea
house,
pigs.
now I added rodents.
But they're in cages, right? So
No, they're in like a pen.
okay.
Like in the back room on the counter. Mm-hmm. They're funny. They're they make this noise.
they coo.
Yeah, they coo and they squeak. They're not bad. They just shit everywhere. It's
Yeah,
like
they
little chocolate
smell.
Tic Tacs all over the pen.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
had a rabbit. So
Yeah,
it's
and if you
similar
hold them-
fecal situation.
Yeah, and if you hold them, you could end up with some.
Oh, with some little chocolate Tic Tacs in your
Yeah,
lap.
yeah. My raisinette
Lucky.
consumption has plummeted.
I bet. Yeah,
The first guy who ate raisinettes did not own a rabbit.
if it's safe to say. Well, so the reason there's so many things I want to ask you about just from that story alone. But the reason I was asking if you have dogs is because earlier you were saying that having kids, they're the only thing that is purely positive in your life.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that is what I hear about children. However, I feel like having a dog would be that too.
Oh yeah, I know dogs are dogs
Are
that
they?
too.
Just
Yeah,
on
but
a smaller scale?
Yeah, when you get your kid, your dog. Yeah, when you have your kid, it's the worst day. That's the end of Christmas cards that star your dog. When
It's the worst day for your dog. you
Yeah.
mean.
Oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. When you come home with kids, that's it for your dog. But no, we have our, it's funny, our dog Bella had brain surgery this summer. She had she had a brain tumor. And we have the resources, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And they did brain surgery on Bella and took her tumor out, and now she's great, but she's old, and she's about 13, and her hips are a little wobbly, and she's a little slowing down. She's slowing down.
Is she different now that a piece of her brain is removed? Does she only turn left?
No, there's none of that. She's she's a little slower, but she's an old lady. We have 2 little dogs that are young and 2 old ladies, so it's a weird mix.
So let's just jump.
It would be great if one dies to get rid of them all, and then start fresh with a snake.
Can you do that?
No, they're all with us. And there's one dog that's just a fucking idiot who can't be trained. And
what's her name or
his name? Alfie. And Alfie would just shit in his food and go, hey! He's just a fucking idiot. And all those people who say, a dog can be trained. No, you're wrong.
Alfie.
You're wrong. Alfie's a little...
Can't the other dogs train him? Don't they do that at a certain point?
We have tried everything. He's a marker. He's just going to pee. He's going to pee unattended. Yeah, doesn't matter. He's
Hot
just
veterinary talk with Alison and Dana.
Yeah. We fixed him.
Okay.
Apparently, he had too much balls, so we fixed him. And now still marks and just blissfully ignorant.
Wow.
And we got to deal with him for another however long he's going to live.
What
10
kind
years.
is he?
He's like a Cocker Spaniel Dachshund mix. It's the Cocker Spaniel. They're apparently...
Yeah, I've heard they're dumb.
Yeah, they're dumb as a bag of hammers. Yeah. And Bella, the dog with the brain tumor, she'd rather kill herself than pee in the house. Alfie just like, hey, I just took a piss. Yeah. Thinks it's great.
So Dana, let's just jump into stuff, and you tell me, what's your deal with relationships?
I've never been in a good one until a healthy one until I met my wife, and I didn't. I've said this a million times. I bet I've said this on every interview I've ever done.
Oh, good.
So let's start. I meet people who knew me before I was 30, and I just apologize and walk in the other direction. I didn't get my shit together in the slightest until I was 30 years old.
In what way?
Just emotionally and socially, and I just didn't. There was no sense of ask them about themselves.
Oh, that'll.
It's not about you. Not everything is about you all the time. And I was a successful comedian at an early age, so I had a system in place that was dedicated to reminding me of how awesome I was. And so, and it wasn't long after I kind of really figured out how to get my shit together that I met my wife. Had I met her before, probably wouldn't have worked out. Because she's actually much more mature than I am, and I had to work for it.
How did you guys meet?
We met at Kathy Griffin's Christmas party in 1994, and I had been in a very long relationship with. It was like together for 6 years, breaking up for 4 of them.
Right. On and off.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. It was a long meal. They just kept bringing you. Just every time you think you're done, they brought another course. And we, lovely person, but we just tortured each other for nigh on half a decade. And when I met my wife, the first thing that I saw was, oh, she's nothing like her. It was just the polar opposite.
Right. In what way did you notice that?
I don't want to, my previous relationship, she was very kind of tall and quiet and mysterious and, funny and smart and great and a lovely person. But kind of like
kind of melancholy?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say no.
Intense,
like Lauren Bacall, young Lauren Bacall. Very like there's a lot going on here.
Oh, like still waters run deep.
Thank you. Yes. You
Just
should
gonna
check that
provide
out.
you with
yes.
cliches.
Yeah, and then here, here it is. To use Archie speak, my old girlfriend was Veronica, and my wife is Betty.
Okay.
And then my wife is just, hi!
Right, like very,
Here
sounds
I
like
am.
very open.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. And real proactive person, very socially adept, and it was just like, oh, this is interesting. So I, hey, you want to go out with me? It's terrible. Hey, I'd really like to go with sometime. I had a really nice time. Mouth open, tongue out. I had a really nice time.
And this is after you'd done work on yourself?
This is yeah. What? Chicks love that, right?
Yeah.
And we've been, so our first date was January 13th, 1995, and we've been together ever since.
What was your first date? And I'm asking because you happen to remember the date. So
We went to, yeah, sure, I remember the date. We went to, it was funny because we went to dinner on Melrose, and at this place that's not there anymore, but it's now a T-shirt store. But she was an agent, and I was a comedian. So ostensibly, like, we should have dinner. It might have been a business thing.
Right.
I used that to sort of protect myself, protect my ego. And then about halfway through the dinner, I said, I hope you realize I think that this is a date.
And what did she say?
She was fine. Yeah, she was fine. It was really funny. It was. I remember it like it was yesterday.
And then you've been together ever since?
Yeah.
And
Never broke up.
And what made you realize she was if this language fits for you?
Yeah, I think I know where you're going. I think I have it.
What made you realize she's the one is what I was going to say.
Yeah. About, I don't know, a year into it when it started to become apparent that, like, this is something genuine that you know. And I had my initial, I'm losing control. Literally, when in one day, this all happened in one day when I just was like, I'm out of my comfort zone. And she basically just said, no, you're not going to do that. It literally said.
Were you starting to say things to that
Yeah,
effect?
like maybe we should just slow down and see what's happening because I feel like. And she literally just, I'm not lying. I literally just said, she just said, no, you're not going to do that. And I kind of went, okay. and then we watched Rear Window and had a great night, and that was it.
Oh, that's great. See, I feel like I would feel like what I should do in that situation is be like, oh, well, okay. It's like do whatever the thing is to put the least amount of pressure on the guy. And then I would probably allow something kind of negative to happen.
That's not what happened at all. She literally just said, yeah, no, you're not going to do that. I was like, okay.
And do you guys ever fight?
Oh my God, yeah, sure. We've been together for how long? 2012. What is it? What's math? Does anybody out there know
with
math?
Numbers.
95 to 05 is 10 to
plus another 7. It sounds like.
Yeah, so 10 and 7.
17.
I don't know what that is.
It's 17.
Yeah, 17. We've been together. Yeah,
and then you do 1 plus 7, so it's 8.
Right. We've done. Yeah, we've
been together 17, 8.
Been together
I'm trying to figure out. I guess
11 years.
I'm trying to figure out what a normal amount or healthy amount of fighting is because
It's
like
cyclical.
to think it's 0.
No, that's not
and
true.
I know that's not true.
Yeah, no. And you fight. You have periods where you fight a lot, and then you don't, and then you don't fight, and then you fight again, and you don't. But what's important, and this is something that my wife taught me that I didn't really know: you can fight, and it's okay. You know, how I was raised, every fight was Armageddon.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of how my childhood was.
Yeah, and in her family, it's funny. Her family and my family are diametrically opposite in their dysfunctions, but still profoundly acute.
Okay, because you come from a family of a ton of you.
Yeah, a ton of us in a small house, and
are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest boy. I have 4 older brothers, and then a younger sister.
Okay.
And my sister came along later, so she was sort of like the family mascot. So in a way, I was sort
Like
of the
the
youngest.
fish or like Cookie?
Like Cookie. More like Cookie, not Carmela.
No.
Carmela's just
A diva.
a ball of secrets. She is just Carmela is a black furry ball of secrets. But it's funny because my oldest brother is was a cop, is now works for the prison system. His name is Dick. If you could get more
course.
masculine than that. His real name is Penis. His nickname is Dick. And then I have this sort
But
of
his
like
friends call him Cock.
his friends call him Cock. And then I'm down there. I'm a comedian and a writer. My name is Dana.
Yeah.
I just kind of segued to the girl. So it's a really it was chaotic, and yeah, fights were like horrifying. Every fight was like, Armageddon, and then
Were they dirty fighters?
they were just, well, by the time I came around, there was a period where, my parents, there was a period where I was living with one of them, and it was just like,
Okay.
it was fights. And they're still together though. They're still together.
But they separated for a period of time?
A little bit, yeah. That came out wrong. Like my mother would just like go away for the summer. Like I'm gonna go stay with my mother in Virginia.
Right.
Do what you want. And my dad would stay home, and it was just kind of like they just needed that. Like, get the fuck out of my face for 4 months.
Right.
And by that, and so yeah, there was a lot of instability. There was a lot of instability, and we moved a lot in the town that we lived in. It was just like
A lot of different houses.
Yeah, we rented,
But
and we just,
all
like,
in Massachusetts?
all in the same town. It was just
Okay.
like, I don't like this house. Move to that house. I don't know where we're going to live next month. And it was just a lot
Right.
of instability. A lot of
Yeah.
instability, and no one ever saying this is not normal.
Right.
So a lot of stuff that I've dealt with clearly, but and then what that forms in me is like a profoundly insecure person. And I, over time, sort of worked on that. What was the question?
Well, you were
I'm
explaining...
going to cry.
It's working. You were explaining that you and your
Oh,
wife
fights, yeah,
has
fights.
diametrically opposed
Right, and
dysfunction.
because I would think like you can't fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because because the world's going to end.
Right.
Right. And my wife comes from, really functional parents, in terms of their marriage, and they fight, and then the fight's over, and that's it. Life goes on. The way they're different is, all my family lives in Massachusetts, and I live out here. And if I never called them, I'd never hear from them. They're just doing their thing.
Right.
And
All of
they're-
them.
All of them, yeah. And they're if you want to come by, great. If not, see you around.
Do they ever come out here and visit you?
No. I mean, they do if I say, do you want to come out? But even now, that's like, they're like, why don't you come out here? My girlfriend's family, they were my girlfriend's family when this started happening.
Good save.
Yeah. That's why is my marriage so healthy? Because I also have a girlfriend.
Right. But let's talk about your wife's family.
Is that wrong? My girlfriend hates my wife's family. My wife's family, but this happened when she was my girlfriend. They just move out. We're all together. Everybody moved out. Her sister, her brother.
Where are they from originally?
New Jersey. Their
Wow.
parents moved out here.
They all
Everybody
came in.
lives within 2 miles of us. Everybody. Yeah.
That how is that?
It's
I was
an
going to say that
adjustment.
sounds great, but I guess that's
It's
a
an
lot
adjustment.
of family.
It's a lot of family.
Right
It's a lot
there.
of family all the time. Yeah. For anybody, but they're not bad people. They're actually pretty good, but they're closer than normal. I would say than is healthy, and my parents are just the opposite.
Does your wife feel the same way?
Like they were in the delivery room when my wife's sister had her first baby.
Yeah.
They visited us on our honeymoon. Where
was the honeymoon?
In Hawaii. There's a level of closeness that is not needed.
Right.
Yeah.
But does your wife feel the same way?
It's
because I come from a sort of, to use the more therapy term, enmeshed family,
that's
like
what-
a pretty
yeah.
overly close family, and I'm sometimes
not a
it
lot of
bothers-
boundaries.
Oh, like no boundaries
Yeah.
almost. I mean, my younger sister has set some boundaries, which on the one hand I admire, and on the other hand I find myself thinking, how selfish of her. And then I have to tell myself it's not selfish.
Yeah.
It's acceptable for her to say, I need to do this or that, you know.
Sure.
But there's a part of me that sort of still has that sort of groupthink in me that's like, how can you, how can you separate in that way? So I'm aware.
Watch me.
Yeah, I know. So I'm aware that it's not healthy to be so boundaryless, and yet it feels normal, sort of.
Sure, yeah.
So that's why I'm asking.
It's all you know. It's all you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to redefine what normal is, and have, boundaries are a big issue.
So was that hard for your wife then to make you and your kids
Well,
and
and that's what-
dogs and guinea pigs and fish the priority?
No,
think?
no. She's also a superhuman.
Okay.
She's got a very important job, and
Right. Yes.
she's
I looked her up earlier.
Yeah, she's
She invented HBO
she's a bit of a she's
and UTA.
She's not normal. She's a super achiever.
Mm-hmm.
So that she's not the, excuse me, she's not the best example.
Right.
Of because she
Right. So maybe
you
it's
know.
not that they're enmeshed. Maybe it's just that she's able to be really, really close to her family.
She can just
and
do
also,
a
everything.
freakish amount of
Does
stuff.
she sleep?
No, not a lot.
how do these
Literally, she
superhumans
does.
do it?
I don't know.
I would like to be one.
I don't know. I'm not one. She gets up at like 5:30 and goes to some crazy gym with Nicole Richie and does this super crazy workout, and then comes home and then goes out and works at HBO and then comes home at night. I mean, it's
And you had the
it's-
audacity to expect her to get boxes? No wonder she doesn't have time to clean.
I would have had more audacity expecting her to get guinea pigs.
I know.
Would you just run out today and get some rodents and bring them back? But she just has to, she's a shark, she's just going to keep moving. She's going to keep moving. So it's an adjustment, but what that's what attracted me to her originally was, she's a go-getter. She's hard charging, no bullshit, which was not my previous relationship.
Your
It was
previous
just-
Lauren Bacall.
yeah, it was. That was very different. That was also just everything that is kryptonite to me was that.
Was the old relationship.
Yeah, it was just like, Pandora. I wonder what's in here. It was just like,
Right.
yeah,
And had
the
you
self-destruct button. What's the red one? This one? Bonk. And so
had you identified that as stuff that you need to stay away from, though, or is it just like in retrospect?
No, it was too great. No, it was just a terror. It was very dysfunctional, and neither one of us were at a maturity level to mediate our mutual dysfunction, which was all benign. There wasn't any
beating.
No, nothing like that. It was just sort of like an inability to shit or get off the pot.
Right.
It shouldn't take 4 years to break up.
So how long had you broken up when you met your wife, though? Or were you guys broken up?
Yeah, we did. Her getting a new boyfriend was a subtle.
That probably made it hard.
There was a
to sort
subtle
of
symbol,
get through, yeah.
subtle signal to me that it was finally time to move on, unless she had said, "But I'd still like to date you," and I would have gone, "Okay." Not long, not a year, not a year.
And you said that you.
And by the way, this very lovely person, happy in their life, and from what I know, and yeah, no,
you looked
no,
her up on Facebook.
She used to work for a friend of mine, so I was like tangentially aware of her life for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I lost my train of thought.
I used to hang out on their chimney for a while. I lived on her roof for 3 months in
Well, that's handy.
2011.
Because then you can drop down with something if she needs it.
Well, with
like
toys.
a towel.
With toys.
Right. It's so weird.
Did someone say
summer, but why is he here again? Isn't he hot? You said that you had success very young as a comic.
Yeah.
How old and what happened?
My first set as a stand-up comic I was 17, and I went to college, but I started making money as a comedian when I was 18. Mm-hmm. And I had a day job I quit college after 2 years to be a stand-up. I had a day job for about a year. But by the age of 20,
had you been majoring in? Like, what was your
I was
plan?
a theater communications major. I knew I was going to be a comedian. By the age of 21, I was working as a comedian.
How did you know?
I've always wanted to be a comedian since I was like 14. Mm-hmm. I was essentially unsupervised as a child. You know, there was so many people in the house.
Right.
If you were in the house and not on fire, nobody gave you a hard time. And so I started watching The Tonight Show when I was about 10. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to be George Carlin. And that was it. You know, my mom took me to see him when I was 17 or 16. No, I'm sorry. When I was 16, my mom took me to see him. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I can do that. I can do that. And I got into it right away. So by the time, like, people say, why'd you go work in The Simpsons? You had this big career, and you were, I was on Letterman, and I had a record, and I'd been on a TV show, and but by that time, I'd also been doing it nonstop for like 16, 17 years. What
was the bulk of what you were doing? Was it touring?
Yeah, just touring and all on the road all the time, and doing TV shows, just working as a comedian. And
was Ben Stiller's show? That was before.
That was in
Simpsons,
'92.
right?
Yeah, that was in '92. I worked on that. I did a lot of stuff, but essentially everything grew from being a stand-up.
Right, and you did SNL too, right?
No,
I
didn't. No, I didn't. Oh. No, I didn't.
You should correct your IMDb page.
Well, I'm not responsible for my IMDb. I was almost on it, famously.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I've tried to get into my IMDb page. I tried to correct the photo, which is from, I think, 1984. Yes. And I can't get in there.
You almost look like a mime.
And I signed
very black and white and serious.
And I signed up like, okay, now I can get in there. I can't. If anybody out there can tell me how to access my IMDb page,
I bet someone can.
Email me at show@danagould.com.
I hope we can close this deal for you, Dana. I hope we can.
If anybody can get my new headshot onto my IMDb page, where I am literally a child. That photo on my IMDb page was taken in 1996.
It almost makes me go, except that I knew that it was probably something like this. It makes you go, please, he's trying to make us think he looks like that still.
No, I'm not. I am clearly not. No, I don't even think you would know it was me if you didn't know it was me. If you didn't.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no.
It almost looks like a commercial actor headshot.
It looks very Jump Street. It very does. Jump Street. Yeah.
It is. So
you know what I call that photo? 100% dude. 100% dude.
Even though I think you're wearing a turtleneck or something.
I'm not wearing a turtleneck. I'm wearing a nice. I'm wearing my. That was the height of the alternative comedy era. I'm in my standard issue suede coat. We all wore one. We all wore them.
For the headshots or for the whole
I lived in
comedy
it.
thing?
I lived in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or corduroy, the cloth of kings. Croix du roi.
So you moved to San Francisco after being in Amherst.
Right. Oh, yeah. So just to revisit the point that I was going to make really quickly was, so the reason that I went on The Simpsons when I did was we had just gotten married. We had just bought a house. We didn't have kids yet, but we knew we were going to have kids, and this opportunity came up. And I was pretty fried. And I thought, well, I can still do stand-up for fun. Mm-hmm. And for the first time in my life, have like a job. Like get up in the morning, go to work.
Right, have something a little more stable.
Yeah, and it was writing The Simpsons. It wasn't like I was going to answer phones at a fucking bowling alley.
Yeah.
And go home at night. And that, at the time, was really appealing. And it was, for a while, it was great. Mm-hmm. For about 4 to 5 years, it was terrific.
And then what was it?
And then I realized that I should be doing what I do, which is...
Podcast.
Stand-up podcast. Exactly. That I should be guesting on podcasts. that I should be performing. But by that time we had 2 kids, and I thought, well, this also pays a ton of money. Mm-hmm. So I stayed for 2 years more to kind of bank some dough.
Well, what was it that made you realize, oh, I should really be performing?
I just knew I was not doing what I wanted to do. I would drive by like the Improv and see my friend's name on the marquee and just feel horrible. You know, I just felt like a loser. Right. I was fat and I was just not, you know, I felt like a surfer on the beach without a board. You know, it's just like, this is not me.
See, I think it's tough for people who do a lot of different things, though.
Triple threat.
Multi-hyphenate.
I'm also a choreographer.
I'm also a gerbil wrangler. Or at least I know the doctor who knows someone who is one.
A gerbil wrangler?
It was just a really, really sideways, poor Richard Gere reference joke. That's
I
not
get
funny.
you.
Okay.
You can go there. Oh, see, gerbils, yeah. You couldn't do that with the guinea pig.
Oh, that's...
you couldn't get a guinea pig up your rectum. You could not get a guinea pig up your rectum.
You haven't seen my rectum.
That's true.
How big are guinea pigs?
They're big.
Like
they're
bigger than a rabbit?
No, they're like rabbits. They're like rabbits with smaller ears. They're big. At least
Yeah,
Cookie. At least Cookie is. I
Carmela's
can only
not?
speak for Cookie and Carmela.
Yeah.
They're sizable.
I confuse gerbils and guinea pigs. I'm sorry. To
Gerbils
the
are
gerbils
like
and to the
hamsters.
guinea- Oh.
Gerbils are like hamsters.
That makes so much more sense then.
Yeah. But I don't think that story is true.
Well, where there's smoke, there's fire. That's
Really?
what they say. I don't know. No, I don't think it's true either.
I heard a great
It's
joke, and I
ridiculous.
don't know who this joke is. I think it's a street joke, but if it's a comedian's joke, I apologize. Why did Richard Gere put a light bulb in his ass?
Why?
Because it looked like the gerbil was having an idea. I love that. That's a beautiful little joke.
That's good.
Yeah.
God damn it. This is the second time I've lost my train of thought. What the hell was I saying,
I don't know,
Dana?
but I'd be editing this. Right there.
I
That
know.
would go out.
I know. And I feel like I'm
That
just
would
going to
go
leave
out.
it in.
I know.
I
Because
should
it doesn't
take it
matter.
out.
Because
No,
it
you
doesn't
know
matter.
what?
And I make everything too
No,
complicated.
No, you know what? You're
I
right.
make everything too
It's
complicated.
better. It's better to see. This podcast is new for me, so I'm still figuring out how much I'm letting it all hang out.
I bet
Too
you've
much.
How many have you done? A dozen?
No, less than a dozen. Fewer than a dozen.
I've done
2 dozen.
I've done 3.
This is the 7th.
Yeah, I'm on my 3rd. But every one I do is like the fucking apocalypse now. There's music cues and fake commercials, and I had my daughter reading Charles Manson's letters from prison and putting music under it. I mean, I make everything so complicated.
It'd be you could have 7 under your belt as well
Yeah.
if you weren't swinging for the
Yeah.
lampposts,
Yeah.
the windmills,
Yes.
whatever
just-
people swing for.
Yeah, whatever they swing for.
They tilt at
Swinging for the
windmills.
neighbor's yard. I'm tilting at windmills. I am.
You're
I keep
you're
waiting
very
for my
Don Quixote.
And I keep waiting for my check. When do we get money?
Oh yeah, no, never.
Does the podcast god write me a check? Where do I get my
No,
money
it's
from?
like waiting for the Twitter god to
Yeah.
come bestow something on you because you have a lot of followers.
Yeah.
Okay, we have some calls.
I find that hard to believe.
We
It's
do
my
really
old girlfriend.
though.
It's my old girlfriend serving me a summons for.
Via the phone,
I think they can do that for what? What would that be for?
talking about her.
Yeah, whatever
Slander?
that's called. Slander. Yeah.
Libel. Probably
Slander, probably slander, yeah.
Character defamation.
She's not. She's a lovely person.
I'm sure she would never.
She had
do
one. She made one bad mistake. She had one bad lapse in judgment.
that lasted
dating
for
me.
10 years.
Yeah, poor girl.
All right. Well, you and I are super functional, so for sure we can help Matt, who's 17 and needs some love advice.
Okay.
Matt, hello.
Allison?
Hi. Thank you for
Hi.
calling.
Oh, my God.
It's really me,
That's awesome.
and it's Dana Gould.
Hi, Matt.
Even awesomer.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
So that's
How
okay.
can we help you?
Yeah, how can we help you?
No, I love you. You're like my favorite on everything you do.
Thank you for
I'm
both of us.
going to assume that's to Allison.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're my favorite on line 1 right now.
So, Matt, love advice. What's up?
Well, I mean, it's too late now, but tomorrow's junior banquet,
Uh-huh.
and I really wanted my boyfriend to go with me, but he didn't want to go in the first place, and I didn't really know how to take that because he's closeted, so obviously he wouldn't be going with me, but at the same time I wanted him to be there, and I don't know if I should, like, kind of make a big deal about, like, the fact that it's tomorrow, or if there's an after party, do I ask him if he wants to go, or do I just leave him home because he's not at the banquet? I don't know really how to handle this.
Well, what are his concerns specifically when he says he doesn't want to go?
Well, he says that he just finds it stupid, or, oh, it's banquet. Meanwhile, there are like 300 kids going. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just that he feels the pressure to have to be there with me and whatever.
If I may, it sounds like, if I could just put on my Dr. Drew hat
Please.
For a minute. If he's closeted and you're not, you've already set yourself up into a relationship where you're really not capable of asking for anything because he can always lay that down. And it also implies that you're clearly a lot more at ease with yourself than he is with himself. Is that a death sentence? No. But what you have to do for yourself is you have to get to a place where you're cool with the fact that you can't really go to him for a lot of needs that require a lot of public exposure. And that's really up to you. I wouldn't at this point put a lot of pressure on him to do anything that he feels that he might blow his cover, so to speak.
Right.
That said, you should not let that get in the way of you enjoying your experience. So, you should go and have a great time. And I'm not, I've never been in that situation. So, all of my girlfriends were straight. But to be someone who is not closeted, dating someone who is closeted, that's, I wish I could be more helpful to you. Unfortunately, but you have to get to a place where you're cool with the limits that puts on your relationship, or not.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, you said everything that's been in my head that I've been trying to ignore.
Yeah. Well, here's a great piece of advice. Don't ignore, all of the feelings that you have: rage, frustration, anger. Don't ignore them, and just say, I'm enraged right now, and just own it. And it's much better. Emotion, someone once said, emotion is it's energy in motion. Mm-hmm. It's something that needs to come out. So the more you try to squelch it, the more it's just going to churn around and get worse. Own it. If you're pissed, be pissed and own it and say, I'm angry and I'm really frustrated. That's okay. And this especially is true of fear. If you're in a situation where you're afraid, own it. I'm terrified right now. And I'm just going to experience that and see how it goes. You'll find that by owning it and accepting it, it's a lot easier on you, and it flows through you easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's good advice. Actually, I know that my boyfriend and I sometimes get into situations where one of us will say something casual sounding, but the feeling behind it isn't casual, and it's because we're trying not to put pressure on the other person or make the other person feel bad or whatever. Right. Which just doesn't really work because...
Is your boyfriend's name Adam Carolla?
No. It's really not, though. What'd you say?
It does sound passive-aggressive, like Adam.
I know it does, right? So we've gotten past that because I think often when you try, but the irony is that you think you're doing the person a favor by not really putting all your shit on them,
right?
But you still are, just in an indirect way, which makes it harder for them to deal with.
Sure.
So Matt, how long have you been going out with this guy, and does it come up a lot that he wants to stay closeted?
Yeah, well, we've been together like 6.5 months, and I know it doesn't, I'm 17, so it feels like forever, but I know it's not. It's just, he's, a really great guy, and I think that he wants more of the relationship to last. Meanwhile, I see more of the perspective that, we'll be going to college in 1.5 years, and I don't know how much longer it's going to last, but I really do like him. Mm-hmm. So, it does come up really often because we do have some mutual friends, and if we try to hang out together, it's really awkward because everyone we know knows, not so much that I even said anything, but it's just so, understood that that's what's between us, but he is just so not willing to accept it. And it's really hard for me to see him go through all this, too. And, I mean, I try to, support him as best I can. But, it's times like, we'll argue about it and whatever. But we do get over it. It's just, this would seem like such a big deal. And the more I thought about it, I thought, well, I have my senior banquet next year. I have prom coming up next June. And it just feels like such a bummer for me to not have, someone there with me. And I hate to bring the whole show down because it's been really funny so
Now,
far.
when you are, would you be able to go to prom with your boyfriend?
Yeah,
mean
like
at the
my
school?
school's very
Yeah.
liberal,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't be willing to come out as my
Right.
date.
What's his family like? Is that who he's concerned about, or is he just not ready?
Yeah,
it's his
that's
family.
really his biggest concern. They're like really Hispanic, I guess, and I don't know if that's a really bad stereotype, but they're really
Religious,
and
Yeah.
freaked out the second he suggested anything, and so he's been like really quiet about it ever since. So
Yeah, that's something that he's, he needs a lot of room
Yeah.
because he's between a rock and a hard place, no pun intended. And, so I think that your job is to take care of yourself
Yeah.
and but in a way that doesn't put pressure on him. Could you go to prom with someone else as like, this is my prom day because I want to go to prom. I respect your feelings, but I want to go to prom.
right, no, I definitely could. I mean, I don't know that he would be upset, but it's just for me. You know what I mean? Like if I look back on this and
Yeah, well, if he
20
doesn't want to
years,
go and
just
you want to
like, did I
go, he has
waste
no
my
right to
time?
prevent you from going.
I'm sorry.
If you want to go and he doesn't want to go, he has no right to tell you not to go.
No, it wasn't that. It was just like for my own, like for me personally, if I look back on this, am I going to think, wow, was that a really big waste of time? Or am I going to go, well, you know what, maybe it was for the better. I got to have a fun night. But, like, I don't know. It's just sticky.
No, you should go. You should go and have a great time.
Yeah. Although I think I can speak for prom, at least for me, and say that it was okay. But I don't look back on it as like, oh my God, that was the best thing I ever did.
No, there's nothing more sadder than someone who peaks in high school, but it sounds like Matt realizes that.
Yeah.
Matt sounds
Be
like he's
thankful
got his
things aren't going that well right
shit
now.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to prom last year, and it was nice. But, I mean,
Yeah.
it was all right. But, I mean, for my, you know what I mean? It's weird to convey. I just have, like, such mixed feelings about the whole situation.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's because there's more going on in your relationship right now and your feelings about the situation than just prom. It's sort of indicative of you're wondering the longevity of the relationship.
Right, and I feel that he wants it to be, longer than it will be,
Right.
Yeah. Are you guys planning to go to college at the same place?
No.
Well, so
Yeah,
Broom
I
him.
dropped that bomb on him.
Broom him,
a while
Matt.
ago.
what does that mean?
Broom him. Sweep him away.
Oh. There you go.
Kick him to the curb and check back after trash day. That's what I say.
Lose some weight in the form of him.
That's right. You have a Matt's boyfriend size hole in your life, and you should keep it that way.
Well, God, my heart goes out to both of you, Matt. Hang in there, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
And
Guys rock.
you really do sound like you have a great head on your shoulders, and you sound very articulate.
Yeah, you sound
and
like you know
I wish
what
I
you're
had
doing.
been that wise at your age.
Matt knows what he's doing.
That's
so
right.
much.
All right, take care, Matt.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Wow.
I feel like I just gave somebody terrible advice.
No, I think you gave him good advice. I think you gave him
First
good
of
advice.
all, Matt,
I mean, sweep him to the curb maybe
your
wasn't
girlfriend
good. But...
your girlfriend is a boy. Like, just completely be an idiot. I know your problem. Your girlfriend is a boy.
If I may. I think you get to start that way. All right.
Do you have a vision problem? What? How did that happen?
Okay, so Edgar on line 2 wants to congratulate me on this show, I think. Edgar? Hello, Edgar.
Hello, Alison.
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to start off, first off, by saying congratulations on your podcast.
Thank you so much.
I'm a loyal Loveline fan for many, many years and have followed all its spin-offs. And when I heard you for the first time on Adam, I thought it was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I thought it was going to be a little different, like visually, like looking at you guys, but it was so weird. when I saw you side by side by Teresa and said, okay, this will do. It's carbon copy.
Yes.
Once I actually got to listen to you, it was very cool. It was actually really, you had a totally different take, and I love your wit. I think you're super funny.
Well, thank you.
And I think when I heard you on here on this podcast, I thought it was I was just blown away. I just laugh and I love it, and I think it's very, very cool.
Oh, thank you so much, Edgar.
Yeah, and just to comment on that last caller.
Yes.
I don't know. I think he's, like you guys said, he has a good head on his shoulder, and I sort of kind of related to the poor guy because I have a younger brother who's pretty much going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where we all know he's gay, but he will never openly say it, or he'll never talk about a boyfriend or a love interest or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's understood. We all know.
Right.
It's pretty blatant. He never says no, but he really never ever talks to. Really, I think only to my sister that he talks to openly about it, but anybody else, he really doesn't. So.
How old is your brother?
He's about to turn, actually, he just turned 18.
Yes, that's the thing. You know, 24, 25, that's when that stuff becomes secondary. It's such, your sexual identity is so huge a part of you at that point, and it's new and scary, and
right.
They're kids.
Mm-hmm.
17, you're a kid.
And it's
You're a beautiful, beautiful
nice, though,
boy.
When you see him interacting with his friends, he is openly gay. And,
Mm-hmm.
and it's weird because he's like different personalities.
Right.
But when he's with his friends, he's very flamboyant and, the stereotypical flashy thing.
Right.
But when he's around us, he is like, hey, what's up, bro?
Right.
He turns on this weird persona where it's just kind of a little off-putting because it makes me feel a little bad that he can't be his normal self, I guess.
There's openly gay, and then you get like the guy that hosts that show on Bravo.
Right.
After he's
Andy Cohen?
He's turbo gay. It's the step above openly gay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an explosion of gay.
I'm sorry, say that again?
No, I'm saying it's an explosion of gay.
Right. Yeah, because it's weird how if he doesn't see me, I'll catch him, and he's very, very flamboyant. It's really... But then once I get close to him, you'll turn around and you'll get spooked. And, hey, what's up, man? Wait, hey, hey.
Yeah, it's hard at that
The
age.
tone of his voice changes.
My brother-in-law was like that at that age, and they just come into their own. That sounded. I really did not mean that to come out that way. They come into their own T-shirt by the nightstand.
Well, that's the theory. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Just a theory. I don't subscribe to that.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Well, thank you for calling in, Edgar, and keep listening.
Enjoy El Paso, one of the garden spots.
Yes, I will definitely, and I'm spreading the good word.
Oh, please do. Thank you.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. And once again, thank you very much for making my boring job very delightful all day and looking like a weirdo laughing to myself all day.
What is your boring job?
I work for a civil engineer.
Yeah, that does sound boring.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening to the Dana Gould Hour.
Yeah, listen to the Dana Gould Show, too, if you like things that are produced and funny and have bits.
I listen to pretty much, like I said, all the little spider webs that went off of Loveline. Everything on Ace Broadcasting.
Thank you.
Some other ones like Mark Maron, and pretty much a lot of the ones that, thanks to you, actually I have to thank you twice, where I followed you being interviewed like on Mark Maron and the Mental Pod. That was pretty neat. So then I started listening to those.
Oh, great. Yeah, those are terrific. Yeah,
and all the other ones. Oh, of course.
I've known Mark for a long time. I'm very, very happy for his success.
Mm-hmm.
He worked really, really hard.
Yes. It was one of my favorite shows. The Paul Gilmartin. Well, actually, I just listened to the Mark Maron, Paul Gilmartin.
Right.
And that was just great. So, but yeah, thanks to you guys, especially on Adam, where I just got introduced to this whole podcast, and radio is now dead to me.
That's terrific. That's great.
All right. Well, thanks, Edgar. Take care.
Can't wait to hear this episode.
Bye. Okay. When I said earlier, if you like things that are produced, producer Gary gave me the middle finger, which was fitting.
I think what she meant to say, if I may,
Overproduced.
If you like things that are overproduced,
produced within an inch of their life.
If you like a bukkake of production,
That's right. If you like things that where the life has been taken out of them.
Yeah, where it's
just
overly done.
Right.
It's like the Smile sessions. It's
things that are embalmed,
wrapped up.
That's right.
You don't
That's
get
how
it
I meant it.
Airless, breathless, lifeless. Then
Right.
the Dana Gould hour could be
Right.
for you.
Like, is this a mausoleum that
It's
I can
like
listen
making
to?
out with a mummy.
You wish it were.
I wish.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
I'm not good with anything that comes. I've removed all the threat of intimacy, so I'm in my comfort zone. On my show, I'm in control.
Right.
I'll chop you up in a million pieces.
How do you actually record it, though?
Dexter does less cutting than I do. What do you mean by what?
Like, do you, since you cut it up so much, what's
for
the process?
for this recent episode, I interview. It's 2 separate hour-long interviews with 3 different people that I've chopped up into about 36 individual segments, and then I'm going to mix and match them and sort of intersperse them. So you'll have one piece of an interview, and then you'll hear music, and it'll go into another interview, and then you'll go back to the other interview. And then I have 3 or 4 pre-recorded segments that are recorded at a separate time that once I edit it and score it, I drop those in too.
As you're recording it, are you thinking, oh, this is bit 25?
Yeah, and what I do is I have a really, really wonderful sound editor named Jalinda Palmer, and she'll send me, I'll listen to it, and then I'll log it, and I'll just go, okay, segment 1, cut at 4:20, ended at 5:11, try to cut out this thing there.
This thing where she said she was losing her train of thought. Cut
or
that part.
yeah, but it's or stuff like that, or like we fumfer to get the joke, go right to the joke, and
Right.
then and she'll pull a lot of the air out of it, and I don't know why it's just it's the thing that when I thought of it, I said, yeah, that would to me sounds like a show I'd want to do. Otherwise, there's no reason to do a show for me, just for me.
What made you decide to do it?
Well, this year I'm doing a lot more performing, and I'm kind of like getting out there more. I had a movie contract after The Simpsons where I was just writing movies that aren't going to get made, making a lot of money, but it was another soul-killing job.
Were you punching up, or were you actually writing?
Both. I wrote a couple of features, and I
But
punched
we'll never
up,
see them?
and I don't think so. And I punched up every movie comedy that came through the pike. Yeah, so this was just to get out there and to do stuff that was just me, and like it's like I know I'm funny, and 11 executives at Warner Brothers know I'm funny. I was trying to get beyond that and get back out to the public. And I will say, and I think it's thanks to Adam, the podcast had and I'm doing some other things, had a huge response. I was really, really happy with it.
Yeah, it's really gratifying.
Yeah, it's nice to know. Yeah.
Have you been reading your reviews
Some
on
of
iTunes?
them.
And
Yeah.
what's your reaction to those? I haven't read yours, so I don't know.
They're very positive, and they that's great. A lot of, and it's always like the one or two, like there's always the take back. Like I care, like, yeah, look, you're in the same place. It's the same thing as them. Yeah, yeah. There are limits to what you can do. And like some people just say like, you're not as funny as Joe Rogan. It's like, well, you're not.
He has
you're
a lot
probably-
of, but he specifically has a lot of fans who feel that way.
Yeah, but to me, I go, that's fine. That's not a critique.
Right.
Bananas aren't apples.
Yeah.
Fuck apples. No, you either like apples or you like bananas.
I
They're
get-
fine. They're both great.
I've been getting a really great response, but there's a few 1 stars that say things like, I wanted to like it, but... And I'm like, you didn't even, I don't think you tried.
Yeah.
No offense, but I don't think so.
Yeah, and you immediately go to, maybe you should take your money back. Oh, it's free.
Exactly.
I keep forgetting it's free.
And then there's one that said, it's good if you like, quote unquote, segments. Like,
yeah, well, exactly.
that was mine.
No, I know,
yeah.
but I know, and it's just like, I'm trying to do something that's different.
Right.
I want a constant, unending supply of excellent versions of that one thing I like for free. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't ask for that.
And what is that one thing? Joe Rogan show.
Yeah. More talk about anal gaping.
Well,
which somebody said was a topic on Joe Rogan's show.
okay. I mean, I feel like a little
not gonna
bit.
go there.
A little bit. Well, I don't know specifically what anal gaping is,
I
but
don't-
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
the discussion of whether guinea pigs could fit up your butt
Yeah.
or putting a cork in your bottle,
Yeah.
it's got to be sort of in the anal gaping wheelhouse.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Under the anal gaping umbrella.
I found out what it is. It's nothing you want to know. It's
is
nothing
it
you wanna know.
is it a hobby?
No, it's a
It's not.
it's a thing.
Gary's shaking his
Gary
head.
knows.
No, I don't want to know either.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying don't ask.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell me more about anal gaping.
No, what I mean is like that's the sort of thing. It's like if that's what you like, then go there. But don't
Right.
criticize me for not doing it.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know. I went to see Bridesmaids. Wasn't the latest James Bond movie.
Right.
No, it's not. It's a totally different thing. They're very separate entities.
Yeah, but how
should
could you think that's funny?
Yeah, you should enjoy the one
Not
that
as
you like.
Hilarious as the comedy that is James Bond.
Yeah.
Another thing that I get, and I actually was thinking of bringing this up earlier, but I'm going to bring it up now.
Sure.
Is a new thing for me ever since I've been doing podcasts, been on Adam's podcast, is that I find that one of the critiques of me is that I'm ironic and detached and smug and snarky, which is really strange for me because these are things that no one's ever leveled that at me. Because I've always done things where people are seeing me. It's always been television. And one of the reasons that I sort of was able one of the compliments people always gave me in TV was that I come across as so sincere and genuine and open. So it's very surprising that all of a sudden people are hearing me this other way. And I think it's strictly because because that must just be how my voice comes across.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
somehow
I
seeing
don't-
me, it cancels it out. But without seeing me, I'm just some cold asshole.
Yeah, I don't. That's kind of a cheat critique anyway because it's
Thank you.
it's a comedy. It's that's sort of like a non-critique critique. That's right up there with just be yourself.
I get that though.
Yeah.
That I'm playing a role, or that they have no sense of who I am, and I'm like, I don't know how to force myself into you.
What's funny-
possibly any more than I am.
Ironically, the people who are complaining that you're not really being who you are
Aren't
if you-
Googling me.
If you ask them to quantify what they mean, they will end up saying that they wish you were more like someone else.
Yeah. No,
You
you're
should
right.
be
My
more yourself,
predecessor-
like
my
Mark
predecessor.
Maron.
Yeah.
You're not being yourself. You should be more like Mark Maron. But he's him.
Mm-hmm.
He does great because he's him. I'm me. This is the thing I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had that kind of equanimity. Instead, I find that it makes me go like, and then I just like that.
Well,
I
I'm
take
also-
take crap in my pants.
Yeah. But it's just you're also half my age.
I am more than half your age, but I'm
Slightly.
younger than you are.
Yes.
So, and now is your wife
As are many buildings
specifically in
L.A.
specifically in tract
Yeah.
gated communities
Here in
and
Glendale.
things. Yeah. Now, is your wife younger than you are?
Yeah.
What's the age difference?
11. She's 11 years
Oh,
old.
that
No, she's 5 years younger than I am.
oh,
Not
that's
much.
a bit. Yeah, that's a pretty negligible age
yeah,
difference,
yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was all nothing creepy.
Now, earlier when you were saying that she's a go-getter and she makes things happen and she's proactive, what I was wondering is, does she ever doubt? This is where I interview your wife through you. Does she ever doubt her because she's the woman I want to be? Take that in a creepy way.
Yeah, please.
Because I want a lot of pets.
But your hair's
Does
so dark.
Oh,
She's
is
so
she-
blonde.
Oh, really? I can be blonde.
Oh,
Give me
no.
time. I can be blonde.
No.
I can. Yeah, I can. I can.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
I don't.
Like you're different.
Okay. Does she get insecure, or
Of
is
course.
she riddled by self-doubt,
Of
or
course.
where is she on the spectrum of all those
She
things?
does completely normal. It's all completely normal. But you just go. But she has a wonderful ability to take that in, accept it, and go forward. Anyway,
Where are you with those things?
I'm learning how to do that. I had a lot of doubt about doing a podcast because I really felt like I'd been out of it for a long time. Nobody knew who I was anymore. I was, it would be a joke. And then it wasn't until I said, well, that could all be true, but I'll do it anyway. Mm-hmm. And that was why I ended up doing it. And
it turns out that none of it's true, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and thank God. And I was waiting for an idea that allowed me to do it.
And then you realize your idea is a shitload of production.
Yeah, just a buttload of work.
Right.
But it's what I do. You know, it's the way I look. I don't do the easiest version of stand-up either. I do everything I do has a level of complexity to it, and it's just the way my brain works.
And you are doing live shows now, yes?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, I'm performing tonight. I'm performing next week. I will be on John Oliver's stand-up New York stand-up comedy show later this month on Comedy Central.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, I'll be on Conan March 19th. I'm around.
Do you get nervous before these things?
No, it's the only time I'm not nervous.
Oh, that's right. I remember you saying that on Adam's show, actually.
Yeah, because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, like stand-up is the one thing where you feel very confident.
Yeah, just get the fuck out of my way. I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Lou and see if we can help him for a second. Lou,
I'm surprised there aren't more chicks calling, unless Lou is a chick's name.
No.
I guess
Sorry.
it's not.
It's my daughter's name.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Lou.
Hey, how are you, Alison? Big fan. I love your work on Adam Carolla Show. Had a chance to meet you over the summer on one of the podcasts.
Oh, cool. Where?
Yeah, it was in July sometime. Very, very stunning in person. By no means are you a cold asshole. In my
Thank
book.
you.
And Dana, oh my God, not worthy. Big fan. Love your Hugh Hauser work.
Thank you.
Looking forward to him back on Adam Carolla Show.
You will hear him this month.
Oh, awesome. Hopefully another tour of the Menudo factory or something.
Huel will be, I've been told, Huel will be returning this month.
Oh, awesome. Looking forward to it.
Will he be bringing Dana?
Yes, unless I meet the real Huel in between now and then, and he kills me.
Right.
Right, which could also a possibility not to be ruled out.
Do you feel like you're number
What
one?
would that sound like?
I don't think I could do that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that we'd both be killed.
I did. It's funny, Lou. I know you have a question, but I'll tell you this one story real quickly. I was on a radio show in New York or someplace, plugging a gig, and the DJ started to try to get. What would Huel Hauser say if he was here? I'm like, I'm not going to do Adam's bit on your show. What the hell's wrong with you?
That's like getting a Letterman writer and being like, give me a top 10 list.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, that's his.
Okay, how about a top 9? Just some numbered list of sequential funny things.
So it was just like, why would I do that? It's his.
So did you do it?
No, I didn't do it.
I know. All right, so Lou, you're considering divorce.
Oh, Lou.
Yeah.
What's going on? Tell us.
And, the reason I call is because just trying to see, if I'm just being an asshole or if my feelings are truly validated here as far as what's going on with my marriage and my situation with my wife.
How long have you been married?
Going on 6 years.
Okay. How long were you together before you were married?
Oh, so going on 10 total, so about 4 years.
It's a good chunk. Kids?
No kids.
Okay.
Are you plugging this into some kind of algorithm you have for marriage?
Yeah, I'm just kind of getting the lay of the land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. And I've never been married, but I'm a know-it-all, so I can help as well.
I'll take it.
Yeah, what's the conflict?
What's the issue?
Well, the issue is that, we've been married almost 6 years, and I feel like there's been minimal to no progress in our relationship. We're still living in the same place. We don't obviously have kids yet, and it feels like we're more than, it's just basically roommates for financial reasons at this point. There's really, no forward progress, which, in my opinion, it should be a marriage is to go forward with your goals are in life, have kids, etc., that type of stuff, and none of that has been done yet.
Does your wife want kids?
She does, and she's actually, we talk about it quite a bit, but my thing is, until we see any kind of progress, well, why even bother with the kids at this point?
Wait, I'm sorry, tell you what? I didn't hear.
Oh, she does want kids, but, my thing is, well, why complicate with things with the kids at this point if there's been no progress in, the other aspects in our relationship?
Oh. Are you guys intimate?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, so I guess what I'm not clear on is what area there's not progress in.
Well, when we got married, our goal was to travel, buy a house, just, do a couple new things. At this point, we haven't done any of that. I mean, our life is pretty boring,
Right.
pretty
Okay.
uneventful.
Yeah. You know what? Divorce, I don't think divorce is the answer to some problems. I don't
Not
think
this one, yeah.
I don't think divorce is the answer to this problem. Here's an interesting thing about your life, and I say this from experience. If you're not happy the way things are going, you can change it, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
But you can change. It sounds like very simple. You know, if you guys are communicating and talking, you have to do that stuff. If you want to get a better place, you've got to go get one. If you want to travel, you've got to travel. I can only say from experiencing, we have a date night, and we fight to keep it, because otherwise your life will gobble you up and spit you out. And, you really have to, it sounds like, set down some boundaries for both of you. Make a list of what you want. Make a list of what she should make a list of what she wants. See where you meet, and start doing those things. What a divorce now to me sounds like, I don't know, you would talk to the phone, but it just sounds like what we would call in the recovery community a geographic. You'll just change the window dressing and think that you'll be a different person after, but you won't.
Right. Another thing that's a huge factor in our relationship, Dana and Alison, is that my mother-in-law has significant influence over my wife. So financially, my wife contributes the majority of her income to my mother-in-law. We've talked about setting boundaries with that.
Oh, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's huge. So, that's the reason that we haven't been able to progress, financially with our relationship, is that she's very enmeshed with my mother-in-law. Problems, her financial problems, her emotional, her medical problems, her health. And, whenever I've brought it up and brought up the thing of boundaries and, keeping those boundaries from her mother and from her sisters and, the family, it becomes a victimization issue. Like,
that's a toxic.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, when you get between somebody in their immediate family, he said from experience, that's always toxic.
Yeah.
Before you get divorced, I would recommend you talk to a counselor that can sort of mediate objectively and try to.
You've switched to before you get divorced?
I said before you decide to go ahead and get divorced, you should try to work with a counselor that can get in the middle, because you'll never, in that situation, you're the enemy. If you're asking her to choose between her family and you, I know from experience. So
can you do that in a Hugh Hauser voice?
I'd love to,
but
a third person that's objective can, maybe their opinion will carry a lot more weight. And maybe who knows? Maybe your wife wants to set some more boundaries, but doesn't have the tools to do it. And it could be somebody could help her along those lines as well.
We brought up the thing of counseling. I brought it up to her and tried to, I don't know, I think I've tried pretty much every approach, the counseling.
Did you ever go?
And she doesn't think there's a problem. She really doesn't acknowledge that there's any problem at all. She feels that helping her family is the right thing to do, so there is no problem whatsoever in her eyes.
No, I would start going. I would start going to counseling and defy her to show up. And if she doesn't show up, I would keep going until she does. And if she doesn't, then you do have a better case of where your issues are. I think you got to do something to do something less than moving out to sort of ring her bell a little bit. It's a difficult, terrible situation.
I told her, hey, this is been 6 years. It's getting more prolonged, and I don't see any end in sight. So maybe us going our separate ways might be an option. And she's still, even faced with that, it's still, I have to help my family, and my family's my number one priority. Our relationship is second. So.
Right. Well, that's a problem. You're also her family.
Yeah, I agree with Dana that counseling would help here. It would help you to get clarity. It would help both of you to get clarity.
Yeah, because she's also operating under a false belief that her family comes first.
Right.
There's a reason there's a reason it's called giving the bride away.
Absolutely, Jay. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%, but it still seems like she's very
it's easier said than done. Easier said than done.
That almost feels like an infidelity of sorts, where she's involved with her mom in some sick, twisted, incestual way, and still involved with our relationship at the same time. She's trying to basically, manage two households at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, well, just realize that she's not consciously choosing to act this way. I think she probably this is some very deep part of her is being pulled in two different directions.
I'm going to guess her mother's very manipulative.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Just a tad. Just a tad.
Right. So that sucks. But yeah, I think counseling could help unravel it.
Absolutely.
Best of luck. Let us know what you do.
Check in with us on a regular basis,
Please
Lou.
do, yeah. We're going to need you to call us around the clock.
I'll post it on the Twitter. Let you guys know.
Oh, great. Okay, bye, Lou. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
My fear was that his wife really liked overproduced podcasts. That was their problem. Mm-hmm. I like stuff real.
Right.
She likes it glossy.
She likes it gonzo. She likes it gauzy. I am going to give a little bit of love to our sponsors, and then I'm going to talk with you, Dana, about your experience with the recovery community and the fact that you're crossing your eyes. Look,
okay.
That's my attempt at last week on the show. Doug Benson was like, you really should give them something so they don't stop listening at the point of the sponsorship. And I was like, oh, you're right, I should tease it. But instead, I think I gave them more impetus to just shut the fucker off right now. You guys don't go anywhere because Gamefly. You like video games, and even if you don't, you could pretend to, couldn't you? I think you could. I'm selling it. Gamefly is a video game rental system that delivers to your door and now directly to your PC. Over 8,000 games, including new titles like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3, Batman Arkham City, and The Elder Scrolls. Delivery right to your home, no late or shipping fees. Monthly price is a fraction of what a new game would cost in stores. A fraction. That means less than.
A percentile.
Exactly. This is great for parents with kids that play games, or the guy or gal or guinea pig that likes to sample different games while saving money. So you guys will get a free 15-day trial if you go to gamefly.com/Rosen. Gamefly.com/Rosen. Dana, do you play video games?
I do not.
Not even on the toilet?
No.
It's where I do my best temple running.
Is that where you
That's
do
not a
your-
euphemism for going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's a game called Temple Run that I play on my phone.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
while I sit on the toilet.
No, that's when I get to read for pleasure.
Out of a
enjoy
book or
I have
Kindle
books.
or no?
No, I have books. I need to get. I have a.
How antiquated.
It's very antiquated. I have a steam-powered book. I got to get a Kindle. I have an iPad. I just haven't set it up yet.
I haven't set it up. It
I
doesn't
haven't
take that long. I know. You're very busy cutting your podcast down.
I don't have time.
Okay.
I have.
You know what you probably don't have time for? Going out to stores and shopping, which is why you probably use Amazon to do the majority of, just go with it, of your shopping. And if you guys, my listeners, use Amazon, which I'm sure you do because they have everything, if you click through the banner on my website, then that helps this podcast out, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. And also, there's a banner for Endless on my site, which is accessories and handbags and shoes and things, and it's like a bazillion brands, and it's free 2-day shipping. So go click the hell out of that stuff on my website, won't you? So Dana,
Would that website be AlisonRosen.com?
yes, it would be.
Fascinating.
I need you here all the time to help me with basic stuff.
Mm-hmm. You know,
Because I'm having trouble with basic stuff.
If you
no
go to
offense, Gary, you help me with basic
If you go to
stuff too.
DanaGould.com, you can click through to other stuff on my website.
If you go to AlisonRosen.com, you can click through to stuff on my website.
I have built beaver dams at every potential revenue stream.
That's smart.
In
this day and age, you have to.
I will not make. No, what I meant is I'm preventing myself from getting access to it.
Oh,
I've
I thought you
removed
meant
the
that
profit motive.
you've monetized the beavers.
I have not monetized the goddamn thing yet.
You should.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Mm-hmm. Dana,
Yes.
you made a reference to pulling a geographic,
Yes.
which is a recovery community term.
Yeah, how would you know?
I know because I read Jane Velez Mitchell's book, I Want, and also because I've dabbled in the community. Dabbled.
Yes.
Well, like I dabbled in drugs, I dabbled in
Right.
the community.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and drinking, all that. And you?
I was in ACA for a long time, which stands for Adult Children of Alcohol.
Oh, I've always
never
felt
had
that
a-
I should check out some Al-Anon.
I've never had, and in my, I never had an addiction problem, but I was raised in a very alcohol-soaked environment and a
Right.
lot of unhealthy
Boundaries and enmeshment, I would think.
just a lot of bad behavior. Like I had the bad thinking of an alcoholic, and so without the pleasant taste or
Right.
drunk sensation. So that sort of helped me. That helped me out a lot when I smashed myself and reassembled myself in a better form.
And what happened that made you feel like you needed to smash yourself?
I had a nervous breakdown where I was on stage and I had an anxiety attack and had to walk off stage.
Oh, wow.
And then I was agoraphobic for about a month. Not textbook. I just
Right.
I was
Afraid.
exhausted. I was emotionally exhausted and psychologically exhausted, and I just really needed to chill out.
What age was this?
27.
You were performing on stage and this happened in the midst of it?
Yeah, I was 10 minutes into a 1-hour show, and I had 2 more that night. I had a 3-show Saturday night.
Wow.
And suddenly it was just like...
Did you get tunnel vision or what happened?
Yeah, I got tunnel vision. I started hyperventilating. My heart started beating, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack, and I had to excuse myself. And then I ended up finishing. I got my shit together. And
really?
Yeah, I got
How
it.
did you collect yourself that quickly?
I went into the... I walked off stage, and the club owner said, "Who's on stage?" And I said, "No one." And I went into the bathroom and just sort of stood in the stall for a minute. And the fact that I needed to get off stage, and I did, sort of
Right.
helped me out. And then I managed to sort of white-knuckle it through the rest of the night.
And do the other shows
Yeah.
that night? Wow. Had you had panic attacks before?
No. It was horrifying. It was really scary.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah. But I was just psychologically exhausted.
Right.
I was speaking of the recovery community, I wasn't a very good parent to me. But I'm
you
much
were
better
all you
now.
had, and you did the best you could.
I did the best I could, which speaks poorly of my abilities at that time. But I'm better now.
So those meetings helped.
So because when you really do get into that, you realize that like the way that you think only you think, a billion other people think that way.
Yes.
A billion other people think the same thing that you do, and there's a name for it, and it's something that it's not a life sentence, and all those things are great.
Do you still go sometimes?
No. I'm because I didn't have the the addiction issue.
Right.
To me, it was a tool to get sort of back on track, and then I go to a shrink, but I don't still go. But I don't think ill of people who do. Whatever works for you.
Does your shrink know about your podcast?
He does.
And?
He finds it overproduced. It's really produced, Dana. It's really heavily produced.
Did he try to get at what that means? Let it breathe. Why
can't you just be yourself? Yeah. He threw everything at me.
Really?
You're really disappointing me. You really disappointed me this week. By
did
cutting
he
off Eddie Pepitone so much.
He tried to like it, but
that would be great. I really thought you cut off Eddie Pepitone a lot this week. No, my shrink's awesome.
Well, Dana Gould, you're awesome.
Oh, stop it.
Thank you so much for
Thanks for
doing
having
this
me on the show.
This was really fun. I feel like you gave great advice to our callers.
Oh,
These were
thank
some
you.
pretty heady calls.
Yeah.
Usually they just call in with like,
Hey, I really like you.
or like, how do I tell this girl? How do I know if this girl likes me back or whatever? But this was like,
Should I shave my junk?
Yeah, I get so many of those calls,
And the answer, if you're a man, no. There's your answer. No.
I mean, if you want to please Dana Gould, now you know. But I mean, yeah, shaving junk's a little much. You know why? Because then you've got the growing back phase
And you look
the scratchy.
And if you're a
it's
dude,
weird.
you look like you have a rubber chicken from Oz.
Right. Once again, my brain goes OZ, but you mean Oz.
Right.
Yeah. So is it Oz ... Because it should be.
I think it is I think it's AAHS. Oz. A terrible name.
How did they come up with that? And the
You know
conversation
what else is a terrible name
was like OZ? No, like
You know what else is a terrible name for a big company?
What?
Siemens.
It is. You're right.
And they're a massive global company.
And they make shit.
Yeah, and did no one say, it's a little jizzy, the name?
Right.
No, Siemens. Who vote? Yes. Transglobal Corporation. Trucks. Siemens.
And electronics. Are they the same
they're a financial
Siemens?
services company, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, their phones are shitty.
But it's just like, could we think of another name? You know?
You would think that they could. But
Look, I'm Harold Gisman, and this is the name of my company.
I know. I'm Fred Spunk.
Of the Houston Spunks.
Right. Well, Dana, if people want to follow you, they can go to @DanaJ.Gould, yes?
On Twitter.
On Twitter.
Yes, because Dana Gould is a realtor from Natick, Massachusetts, which ironically is 10 minutes from where I grew up.
Have you met this realtor?
I haven't, and I really want my Twitter. Name.
Is
But
it
that's
a
to be
man,
moot.
a man or a woman?
It's a dude. Dana J. Gould, DanaGould.com, and
That's where you find the beavers.
yeah, and Facebook official Dana Gould
And your podcast, The Dana Gould Hour,
is on iTunes
yes,
and available through my website.
And it right now is released every other week.
Yeah,
Yes?
there'll be a new one probably Monday.
I can't wait.
It's a
Anything
good one.
else we need to know or should know?
Christ, that's a lot.
Well, you're going to be on John Oliver's show.
Yeah, go to my website and you'll see my gigs. That's another thing I have to do. I have to post my new gigs.
Yeah, you do. How do you do it?
I don't know. Every time I stop and think, I think of new things I have to do. I'm on Conan March 19th. Got to write that down.
Yeah, do that.
I'm on Adam March 22nd. Got to write that down.
Write that down.
We're going to Irvine together.
Oh, I'll be there.
I know. That's why I said together.
Oh, I thought you meant. I thought you meant we're going to Irvine together, you and Adam.
No.
And I was like, fine. I feel left out
No,
now.
I'll meet you down there. I drive alone. I can't drive with people. I have to drive
Okay.
because I'm a control person.
Yeah, I know.
That's why my podcast is overproduced. It's not. It's fun.
Why do I never know what the hell is going on?
Well, because you're going. They had to ask me if I would go, so I got the date.
Yeah, how rude of them to not ask me. They just assume that I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Because I am going to go.
Because you
work
work
part of my
'cause
job.
Part of your job to go.
Yeah.
And it's Irvine. It's one of the garden spots.
It's close to where I grew up,
Where'd you grow up?
Orange County,
Where in the OC?
like Corona Del Mar area.
Oh yeah,
So right.
the
right.
streets. Tough to tell.
I know.
The dark side of
It's
Corona Del
amazing
Mar.
that I turned into something because a lot of people
Yeah.
expected that I'd be like pregnant at 15.
The neighbors said
drop
they
out.
saw you and your friends over by the Color Me Mine. Knock it off.
Maybe I want to throw a pot. Is that unacceptable? Okay, you guys, thank you so much for listening to this show. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Please go to my website and click on all the sponsor banners, and please visit all of Dana's stuff. And you can follow me on Twitter at Alison Rosen. You can follow the show's Twitter feed at ARIYNBF. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. And you can also listen to this on the Adam Carolla app. Perhaps you're listening to it on that right now. And please give it a good rating on iTunes if you feel it deserves it. And if you don't, change your mind. Okay, I love you guys. Bye. Bye. Dana, say bye.
That was nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen show? We had a good time. Now we gotta go. Thank you for watching the Alison Rosen show. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. That's right.
You're listening to the Ace Broadcasting Network.